Good evening, Bhante and all Metta Sutta. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 21 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight we'll discuss a new topic, which is Metta Sutta, the third sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. Whoever interested to join the Zoom class, where we can engage directly with Bhante, can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang's Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. However, this class also will be broadcast on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Perdana Klang's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Ti Sutta Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginner as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Ti Sutta's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Ti Sutta with the link www.patisutta.blogspot.com. Bhante Chandima earned a PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from a University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome once again Bhante and thank you very much for the talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the 21st Sutta discussion that is hosted by the Ti-Ratana Klang Vihara. And as you know that we started Metta Sutta last week, and we discussed the background of Metta Sutta, and then we also started discussing the stanzas too. Especially, I actually been sharing with you the sutta deals with two aspects. The first aspect is about 15 skillful habits. The other one, which is going to be interesting too, it's about sending metta. But most people know only the second aspect, sending metta part. So, but as we start from the first stanzas, we know that there are 15 skillful habits that definitely help someone for the metta practice. For those folks who do not know what they are, directly trying to practice metta might have a hard time. So this is our observation at the beginning. Okay, so let's pay homage to Buddha and then start the discussion. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. All right. Verse number 2. But before we jump onto the verse number 2, let me ask all of you, what did you learn so far from the Metta Sutta? Can somebody kindly share with me or with us? What did you learn and where we left up at the end of the verse? Any ideas about what we did so far? About the Metta Sutta? What is Metta? And then why the Metta Sutta was given to monks? The background? Any thoughts? Some homework, huh? some homework about the things that we discussed. So I like actually if you could study on your own too, because this is not just a Dhamma talk actually. Now in the Dhamma talk format, what we know is that a monk is there, just talk, and then you listen, you write down. You might not be able to ask questions sometime, maybe sometime, yes. I want you to study together, as Aliana always put, happy learning together. I mean, learning together, right? So normally somebody learns, but learning together has a different thought, different way of looking at this discussion. So I want you to take a look when you're free. I know you are busy, but whenever you get a chance, please spare a moment of time. So that will be nicer. Okay, so we discussed about the Metta Sutta in a way how it was given. It was given to 500 monks when they were scared by tree spirits in the forest. So they were not able to, concentrate to stay there. So then they approached the Buddha. The Buddha said, it is because you trespass the place. This place was already surrounded by the Deva. Not just the Deva, three Devas who are living in trees. So you did not ask permission. I would say you did not, when it comes to Devas, I would say not permission, I would say you did not send metta to them. But you just went there and then started living in that particular place. Somebody might argue this is a forest, there is no particular owner, right? We might think this way, right? Let's say you buy a house and then you move out to the house and you move in after that, and then you think that this is our house, we don't need to, do anything. That's why we always think it's always good to ask some monks to come over to your house, do some blessings, make the non-humans happy, right? So it's always connected to, to the background story too. Actually, background story is connected to us in many ways. And then that's how the Buddha asked them to practice metta. Not just to recite it, but to understand the deeper meaning of metta, loving kindness, friendliness, and then to send metta to all the tree spirits, Deva, in the forest. Then they were happy. Although the monks were trying to live in the forest, they were not trying to scare off the monks after that. Right? So the monks monks could not spend the vasa too, right? They were trying to then get into the next vasa. That was what we learned. Okay, so then we discuss the preparatory requirements to practice metta. When you want to prepare yourself for the metta, you need to have 15 skillful habits. What did we discuss? What have we discussed? How many skillful habits we discussed last Friday? Remember? We discussed?
There were 6, Bhante.
6, Sakko, Uju, Suju, Suwacho, Mutu, Anatiman. Okay. Right?
Yes,
They are the 6. They are mentioned in the verse number 1.
1.
Sakko means being able to execute or fulfill any act, particularly the spiritual acts. The spiritual acts. and also you are the physical acts too. And uju means morally uprightness, right? Need to be morally upright, because our spirituality should not be limited to a certain place, to a certain person. It has to be always common to, equal to anybody, even to us. Suju means honest. You should be honest at all times, as much as we can. Suacho means being able to listen to someone, especially to a Kalyana Mitta, to get an advice, right? And Mudu means being soft. Being soft, not just being soft physically, soft in the sense of how we, act, to different people, different responses, and all that, right? Especially we use it in the way of what you call flexibility, right? Being flexible, right? And then anatimani means not being proud. That means I would say not too much, not too proud about us, not too proud about others, right? Actually, mana is a fetter. Mana is a fetter, right? What is mana? So let's talk about mana. Hi, Pungi, how are you? Emma, Lucy, everybody?
Thank you, Bhante.
Come back.
Thank you. Yes, thanks.
So,
I'm good.
Great. What is mana in Buddhism? M-A, let me type that here.
Mara is a devil.
Mana. Mana. What is mana?
Mara is a devil.
Not Mara. Mana. Mana. M long A N A. Mana. What is mana in Buddhism? This is a Sanskrit word, and also you can take it as Pali also. Mana. When you say that I have lots of mana, somebody has mana. We all have mana unless we attain nibbana. Okay? Right? Even Sotapannas have mana. Sakadagamins, Anagamins, they all have manas. Only an Arahant eliminates mana.
Is it pride? You have pride? Pride. Mana.
Yeah, mana. Lucy, would you be able to mute your audio, I guess? Yeah.
Is it pride?
Yeah, pride.
Yeah.
Pride is a kind of a state of mind. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So what is
Is it ego, Bhante?
ego? Ego is sakkaya ditthi. This is what we understand, but there are some similar meanings. I have a kind request. Unless you talk, would you be able to mute your mic? That would be nicer. So whenever you want to talk, you can unmute. Otherwise, I'm getting kind of an echo here. Yeah, great. Okay. See. So so somebody said pride. Kim said it is pride. Aliana said it could be ego. What is mana? So we are trying to understand anatimani. Is this what we are trying to understand in the first stanza? We did this last week, but I wanted to, explain anatimani. Mana means measuring. You measure. You size up, right? Do we always measure things and people? Do we do that? Is it natural or is it unnatural? It is natural. So we are naturally sizing up or measuring things and people. But the problem here lies at a place where we over, measure, and we are doing it over and over, right? That's going to be a problem, right? So that is the issue here. This is a fetter. Now, if you can remember, Visakha, the great Upasika Visakha, who attains a Sotapanna when she was very small. Remember her life? Vishaka attained Sotapanna when she was very small. After that, she is marrying to somebody, right? Remember? Yeah, she became a Sotapanna, I guess, before she was going to marry. And then she was married to somebody after that, after a long time of being Sotapanna. And then plus she was very painful at the death of one of the granddaughters. So because she's still a Sotapanna, not yet overcome the Kamaraga and Patita. So she still, was suffering with some other things. So I was trying to pinpoint here that mana is a fetter we all measure unless we attain an arahant action. Okay, so here when you practice the skillful habits, the 15 skillful habits, one of the skillful habits, now here the sixth one is called anatimani. Anatimani means that you are not measuring, but you may measure, but you are not measuring. You may measure because you still haven't attained Nibbana, but you may measure. It's like that, right? It happens. It's like now in Hinduism, they say the yoga philosophy, there is no such thing called body and mind. Body and mind is one. But for the clarification, we teach you body is this, mind is this. For those ignorant people called body is one, mind is one. Interesting, huh? The Buddha also say, body and mind, you can't separate them. Nama Rupa, right? So, but ignorant folks think, oh, mind, we only have to work on the mind, only meditate. Right. If you don't take care of your body, how are you going to take care of your mind? The Buddha said, Arogya Paramala Abha, health is the highest gain. If you are not healthy, how come you're going to meditate well? Is it connected? Is health connected to a good meditation? It is. Taking care of your body, but attaching to body is a different problem. Right? While we are not attaching to the body, but we need to maintain it properly, take care of it properly. In the same way, here, I would say a skillful person may not eliminate mana completely, but he or she is trying to reduce the unnecessary levels of mana, right? That is what we need to understand as the sixth one. But today we're going to do the second stanza. Now we're going to find another set of skillful habits. Okay, so today, who is going to read the stanza? Recite the stanza. I'm going to ask, and probably ask Sadiris if you want to give it a try. Do you have the document with it?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Okay.
Two.
Okay. Santusakocha subarocha appakichocha sallakahutti. Santindriyocha nippakocha appagabbo kulesu ananigiddu.
Okay. Right. Yeah, great. Let me recite too. Santusakocha subharocha. Now the Pali issues, lame subharocha appakichocha sallahuka buddhi. Santindriyocha nippakocha Appagappo. Now here there is a letter error in the Nalanda version. It should be Appagappo Kulesu Ananu Gittu. Okay, so that's how we have to take it. Now, what do you think about the number of skillful habits over here? How many skillful habits can we notice in here? Santussako is one, Subharo is second one, Appakichu third one, Sallahutavutti is the fourth one, Santindriyo is the fifth one, Nipako is the sixth one, Appagabbo is the seventh one, Kulesu Ananagiddo is the eighth. So there are 8 skillful habits that are given in the second stanza. So that now what you need to do is you need to add the 6 skillful habits which we did last week. Then with this stanza, there are then how many skillful habits are given? 14. 6 in the first stanza. Here there will be 8. Okay. Now we'll find out the meanings of these skillful habits. Santussako. What is Santussako? Santussako. Santussako simply means being content. Is being content
Contented.
a habit? Yeah.
Supportable.
Yeah. Is being content a skillful habit? Or a skill? What are your thoughts? Because let's say you go for a dinner and one person is happy about the meal, the other person starts complaining about the food. Does it happen? It can happen, right? Sometimes everybody is complaining about the waitress or waiter in the restaurant. The problem is they have the same dissatisfaction line that has happened. Oftentimes what happens is that some individuals are very picky about things. When you have a lot of requirements, perfectionist thoughts, then you are more likely to complain about stuff. So you are not content. This is I would say, habit to some people. I don't think that there is somebody who is exempt from this thing. Everybody might complain at a certain point, but there are people who complain a lot. Others do not complain that much, right? So in order for you to give an understanding about this Santussako, I'm going to read some of the commentarial statements so you will understand what it is exactly. So Santussako, that means being content, it is a skillful habit. It is given in 3 ways in the commentary. You have to understand. Sakena tussako, santena tussako, samena tussako. Let me, probably if I could share with you on chat, might get a full meaning. See, okay, should be like this. Okay. Sakena, santena, samena. Now, tussako means, I would say, joyer, the person who is being content. Now, that particular person is going to be joyful according to 3 ways. Number 1 is sakena, number 2 is santena, number 3, samena. Now, we have to find out the meanings of these 3 terms. Sakena. Now, sakena means see? Okay. Sakena means that, now this is actually given to monks, right? Monks and nuns. So the language and the contents are about them. So let me read that for you. Pindiya loka bhojana nisayati eva upasampada mantali buddhitta attanacha sampatichata chatupache jata. Oh, now a certain monk or a nun, they are supposed to receive pindapata, right? The dana from people, right? Tena sundarenava asundarenava. So the dana, the food of the dana that the devotee is offering to the monk can be, I would say, good or bad. Is it possible to be good or bad? According to the way the monks and nuns see it today, okay, this devotee did not cook properly. No, not the way I like, right? I'm talking about the city life, not the monks who are going on Pindapath on the roads. They should be expecting different people, right? Let's say that there are devotees for each day, lunch and breakfast. So they were expecting some, because the monks are the community who know the taste of many food. Because they eat from, I guess in some temples, they eat from 60 families. Breakfast is from one family, lunch from one family. So 2 families, two houses. So they taste the food from 60 houses. I don't think a devotee might have that chance to eat. So it is possible that they may have a point where they may think about, I want to judge the food. Yesterday, today, last month, maybe the devotee brought something last month. Today, I don't think she or he well prepared for the food. These nuances, these thoughts can, bother if they don't have a good mind, if they don't develop the mind. Now, don't think that this is only for the monk. I'm trying to see the example here in the commentary. So we have to bring it to our life. Let's say you go to a restaurant. Yesterday, there was a happy hour. Huh? You went to the happy hour, you think that, oh, the food was really good. But today, you go to the same restaurant for the happy hour, you don't see the food is that good, right? So you expected that. So here it says, the food that was given to the monastics could be good or bad. Sakkachangva, asakkachangva. Asakkacha, asakkach means, usually it goes by what the monastics like and what they don't like. There are some devotees who ask the monastics, what do you like to eat for the breakfast or lunch? It could happen, it could not happen. Sakkaccha or sakkaccha. Dinnena patiggahana kale paribhoga kaleja vikarang adassetva. Now when a monastic is receiving dana from a devotee, in the form of good, bad, I would say, informed or uninformed ways. I mean, looking at the food that the devotee is offering. Now the monks are going through a different frameworks about the dana, different ways of dana. Sometimes it could be good, sometimes it could be bad the way that they think. Sometimes it could be informed, sometimes it could be uninformed. But if any monastic is developing any dislike or any particular likeness towards the food excessively, then that monastic does not have the santussako. So here what do you call? The sakena part. So he or she loses the sakena part. That means if you are a monastic, then you should be able to have it without complaining about it. In this case, particularly. But how do we take it to the devotees, like a normal person? Is that, let's say you go to a house of your relatives, you can't say it is bad or good, right? Right? Your friends or your relatives, they may have cooked for you, right? So you don't want to, what do you call, hurt their feelings, right? So you manage yourself. You're gonna eat it, right? You don't try to be a utter critique about the food. Food is not good to me. I'm a cook. I know how to cook, right? So this is how we're gonna look at the sakena part of the santussako. Second is santa. Santa means santang nama yang laddang hoti attano vichamana tena santeneva tusanto. Tato pare parang pattento attrichatam padana santena. That means you are not unhappy about what other people have compared to you. Now this is a problem. that affects many, right? There are a lot of people who look at everything from one's own perspective. Let's say there's a very good family, and then probably this person doesn't have that particular family. So always trying to compare this family's happiness to that person's family happiness. You don't need to do that, right? Probably you have a different happiness that that particular family might not have. Even the food, even the shelter, even other things that everybody likes, right? We don't need to compare because we are all differently successful. Don't think success happens only in one way. It can happen in many ways, right? So that means something a part of santussako. Finally, what you call by samena means samang nama itta anittesu anunaya pati gappahana tena samena sabbaram means tusam. That means monastics are supposed to receive food, shelter, clothing with an equal mind. Let's say a rich person is coming and then offering. A poor person is coming and offering. They have to accept, they have to use it with an equal mind. Equal mind means this equal appreciation, gratitude to the person who offers. In your case, let's say one of your friends who is not very rich is going to give something to you. Somebody who has some money is going to give something to you. You should be able to practice gratitude equally, appreciation equally. But does it happen oftentimes in our world? Do people praise a lot about the people who have lots of money? What is the normal perception? Rich people get more complimented, I guess, right? This is the thing. But the Buddha said for the monastics and to the people, the Buddhist followers don't do that. Be appreciative towards everybody, right? So now you understand being content. Being content is one of the skillful habits. It has a lot of aspects, 3 aspects. One aspect is that you need to be happy with what you have. Number 2 is you need to be happy for others. And then the third one is you need to appreciate what you get equally from anyone, right? So santussako is described 3 ways in the commentary, Metta Sutta commentary. If you look at Dhammapada verse 249, that for you, Dhammapada 249 verse. Let's type that here. You see, Dhammapada 249. Okay, see the verse. Okay, people give according to their faith and their devotion. One who is displeased or not happy with others, receiving food and drink, cannot attain samadhi. If you are not content, you won't be able to attain samadhi, concentration. Okay, so you have to look it up on Google later, Dhammapada verse 249. That means if you are a person who is not easily content, that means you are not able to practice samadhi. What is samadhi? Sila, samadhi, panya. That means samadhi is a very important element of our practice. That means you can't practice meditation. Right? Samadhi means concentration. You get concentration through meditation. Right? So you are not a good meditator at that point. Because you always complain about others. You have so many likes and so many dislikes. Right? So we need to keep them to a minimum. We have to keep our likes and dislikes to a minimum. Of course, we have likes and dislikes. Why not? Let's say now if a snake comes to our room while we are talking like this, we have a dislike towards the snake. What is he doing here, right? But we're not going to kill him, try to let him go. If somebody's going to kill him, then the dosa arises, right? So when you want to eat some food, you think about, okay, what I'm going to eat for dinner, what I'm going to eat for lunch. That's okay. But if you think, without this particular food, I'm not going to eat anything for my breakfast. Without this particular food from this restaurant, this place, or from my house, I'm not going to eat anything. That is going to be a type of greed, not like. So keep your likes and dislikes to a minimum. Don't struggle with your likes and dislikes, right? So that is why if you struggle with your likes and dislikes, you are not able to practice meditation. Always they come to your mind, okay, something I didn't like happened today, so I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. So how do you practice meditation? It comes up, it pops up in your mind all the time. That's why the Buddha said in the Dhammapada, verse number 249, that those of them who are not happy about, he is particular about two things, food and drink. Now, these are, usual stuff that everybody consumes on a daily basis, won't be able to attain samadhi. Okay. And then the famous stanza, Dhammapada, verse number 204, very famous stanza. Everybody knows this stanza. Don't tell me you don't know. Huh? Dhammapada 204. See, Dhammapada 204. Okay, the stanza says, Arogya Paramalabha Santutti Paramandana. Everybody knows this. Vissasa Paramanyati Nibbanam Paraman Sukha. What does it mean? Health is the greatest gift that anyone can have. Is it true? Is it true? How many of us can spend a day without a back pain, headache, fever, cough? How many of us can stay a day without those issues, regardless of you are young, adult, senior, right? It's a challenge. It's a challenge. That's why the Buddha said, the good health does not come to you naturally. A lot of people think, I did past karma, good karma, so I'm healthy. I'm like this for the next couple of months. No, it does not come to you naturally. You have to prepare yourself. Your sleep, your food, your mental health. It's a bunch of everything, right? Right? It's a bunch of everything. You have to find out how to be healthy, basically mentally healthy and physically healthy. Now in the stanza it says, Santutti Paramandana. Contentment is the greatest wealth. Now, I know that a lot of people are very conscious about how to manage their wealth management, right? They want to manage their finances. They want to manage their properties. They want to manage their businesses. They want to manage their everything, right? But in Buddhism, it says, and it does not underscore, it does not, I would say belittle the money aspect, but it says the greatest contentment comes from contentment. The contentment. This contentment is such important. If you think to yourself a moment that you are very content about your life, the people that you are with, things you are having, gratitude and all that, that precious moment is priceless. Now see, we've been talking a lot about contentment. Right? So that is the highest wealth. The third line is very interesting. Vissasa Paramanya. Some people translate this to be, relatives are the best in whom you can trust in. Actually, it should be this way. Those who are trustworthy are the best relatives. If you cannot trust even the blood relatives, then they are not going to be real relatives, right? So those in whom you can trust, put your trust, they are the best relatives, right? Anyways, Nibbanam Paramam Sukham, highest happiness is Nibbana. So our point was to see the greatest wealth in our life is content. So let's go back to Metta Sutta again. Now here, Santushako. Now Santushako means being content. So this contentment is a skill, because a lot of people out there, they are not content. They say, okay, I'm okay, but I'm not happy. There's a place that they might complain about. I'm not happy about this and that, right? So if you are a person who always appreciates, who equally appreciate everything, you are not far from being content. Any questions about being Santusako, being content? If not, we turn to Subharu. Subharu. What is Subharu? What's the translation here? Subharu means easy to support. Right? Easy to support. The commentary says there are some of the people in this world who are not easily supportable. That means they are not easily, it is connected to being content too. You can't easily make them happy. Okay, can somebody share something with us about this nature? Maybe you may have witnessed in your family circles, your friend circle. Are there people who are not easily be, being able to be happy in your life? Or are you somebody who is not easily supportable, easily, happy about stuff? Even some animals are like that, are not easily, you can't easily make them happy, right? So the idea here is that we should be able to be someone who is easily supportable, not become a burden to someone. Should always think about when we are doing things with others, we should not be a burden to someone, right? Because there are times that other people are trying to be a burden in many ways to others, right? It shouldn't be a burden to anybody, right? That is Subharu. Now the commentary says that there were some monastics, they are not happy just from a small thing, they expect a lot of things, right? Remember the story between an ascetic and a cobra, right? This cobra, according to the story, was one of the very, greatest cobras at that time, who is supposed to have a gem. So, because the cobra was very happy, he always comes and coil the ascetic, the person who practices meditation. So, then the ascetic becomes very pale, very weak, because the big cobra always comes and coils him. He was very unhappy. This is really not a good thing, not happy about. So he told somebody, this happens. And then he said, okay, next time when he comes, you ask something from him. Ask the gem that he has. So he came the second day, the ascetic asked, can I have your gem? He didn't come closer. So he kept asking. Finally, the snake left him, right? So that means when you keep asking things from other folks, right, people are not happy, right? They are slowly walking away. If you don't like somebody, maybe you can ask, like, can I have something like that? So they will go away slowly without any problem. You don't have to argue with that person. Interesting. This cobra and the ascetic incident. But anyways, the idea here is that we should not be a burden to anybody, even to our family, right? Because the Buddha said it is a skillful habit, Subharu. And Appakicho means, Kicha means work, Appa means little work. That means not being too busy. Not being too busy. Are we really busy? Are we busy bodies? Huh? Like bees? The Buddha said it is okay to be busy, but not too busy. If you become too busy, you are killing yourself, both mentally and physically. So how does the commentary explain this? It talks about three aspects of being busy. One is kamma ramata. Let me type that for you. They are interesting to learn actually. Kamma ramata. Okay. Now, kamma ramata means attachment to many acts, right? This is one of the reasons why people become too busy. They are so attached to many acts, right? Kamma ramata. The second is bassa ramata. Bassa ramata means attached to talks. I would say talking. This is the second thing that make people too busy. Then the third one is, okay, that is called sanganika ramata. That means attachment to herding. That means grouping. Huh? I would say grouping. Okay, these are the ways how people become too busy. We have to understand why we become too busy. One is you are attached to so many acts. Now there are people, they do everything. If you look at them, they do everything, but they don't do what they are really supposed to do. Right? What's an English terming for them? Can be a jack of all trades. Could be, not could be. That means they are doing lot of things, but they are not probably, because of that they are missing out. They are becoming too busy. Second is attached to talking. There may be people who are too busy because they are gossiping a lot. They are talking a lot, right? They can't stop their mouth, something has to say. Because looking at the phone now, okay, we have 10 minutes already, more 10 minutes. So let's talk something. You just want to kill the time, because there is some time left, right? The Buddha said, it's not. Time is precious. Talk in moderation. Only talk what is necessary, what is meaningful. What's meaningful to you and to others. But don't be selfish. That's how. But there are people who are very busy because they have to talk a lot. Right? So that's the second way how people can become too busy. Third one is interesting too. Sanganikaramata. That means attachment to herding. We have the herding mentality. We want to do partying, group all the time. The Buddha said it is okay to do such things, but not too much, because then you are not practicing yourself. Because if you are part of a group all the time, you are not looking at your practice. You are missing out on the practice, because you always keep trying to keeping up with these groups. And plus, when you are in a group, you are far more susceptible, vulnerable to do bad activities. If you ask from many people, when was your first cigarette? Because I was with a group of bunch of people. They were smoking. I got a cigarette too. I started smoking. So this herd mentality. What were the times where people drown in the sea? Many people were trying to swim in the big sea, and then I was a part, and then I was, dragged by the waves. Because sometimes the group mentality might not work. But somebody can argue, okay, I'm going to the temple with a group of people for meditation. That's a good thing. But the problem is, meditation really works when you do it individually at a certain time. So the idea here is, be very careful, because the grouping is good, but If you are too much into it, it can make you too busy. So you are losing one of the skillful habits. Appa kichu. Appa means little. That means you should have work, but not too much. Somebody might say, not too much, not too less. There are people who are not involved in anything, right? So we had to find the moderation. Not too less, not too much, right? That's the idea. That is upper kitchen, which is the, I would say, here, Santusako is one skillful habit, Subharu, upper kitchen. Now we come to the fourth one. How do we pronounce this term? Some people pronounce it wrongly. Sal lahuka buddhi. Sal lahuka buddhi. How do we pronounce it? Sal lahuka. L. Sal lahuka buddhi. Now, lahuka buddhi means simple. Buddhi means life. Simple life. Do we have a simple life or a complicated life? What kind of life do we have? We are supposed to have a simple life, not a complicated life. Right? Look at many folks who go to the shower, the bathroom, take a long shower, not because they are supposed to have a long shower, but because they are thinking. All their thinking happens in the shower. Why is it? You going to the bathroom just to take a shower, not to think too much about outside the shower. Just imagine. So that's it. You might plan something, but not this dragging mentality that your plans happen in the bottom, like somebody else. Where did you plan all that? In the shower. That's not a good way to say that. You plan it with wisdom at a good time, right? So that means our life has to be simple. Whenever you eat well. Whenever you take a shower very well. Don't drag other problems to your shower, right? When you sleep well. That is simple life. But how many people complicate this simple life? No, I can't eat just by eating. I have to think tomorrow what I'm going to do. I have to talk. I have to watch TV, Netflix. They are complicating their food, eating, and all that. So we should not complicate our life. We should be as simple as we can, right? Let's say your clothing, your food, your shelter, right? Don't make it complicated. Make it simple. Simple life is very good, I guess. I'm not telling everybody, hey, you have to be like this. No, you should find out your simplicity. It might be different from one person to the other, but simplicity is what is needed. It could be different. For a rich person, it could be a different reality. For somebody, it's a different reality. For a busy person, it could be a different reality. So, Sal Lahuka Buddhi means simple living.
Bhante,
Now, yeah,
someone is commenting in the chat.
the commentary, right? Okay.
Somebody is commenting in the chat group.
Okay, let's take a look. Our life is busy. Yeah, that's true. But the idea that I was trying to tell is that we should not make it too busy. Whenever we want to shift our focus, we should be able to do it. But there are folks, no, I can't do that. I'm so busy. So busyness has taken them over. So our plan here is that if you want to practice this, what you call appakichu, that you should be able to shift your focus whenever necessary. But if you say no, that's going to be a problem. I know a couple of people who might say, I don't want to buy clothing. I don't have time to wear them. Right? So I said, no, you find time to wear them. If you want, you have to find time for them, right? Because they think the work is what has made them more important, right? You can do the work, but you have to plan yourself too. If you are not planning yourself, you are not a successful person. You are not practicing skillful habit. I would say you are not a Buddhist in simple words. Because in Buddhism, these words are precious. They are mentioned in the suttas. If you can't do that, you are not practicing, unfortunately. You are just a learner. Every day you learn. You write down, I learned Metta Sutta, but that's it. Next day you are the same person, right? That should not be our reality. Should be able to put into practice. And the practice is not difficult too. Okay, Sallahuka Buddhi, I have to mention add something else too. The Buddha said to the monks, don't collect lot of things. You need to be somebody like a bird. What's the weight to a bird? The weight of a bird is the weight of two wings, the two wings. That is the weight, right? So in the same way, here the Buddha's, the commentary says, Disa pakkamanakali pakki sakunoviya samadaya pakkan. That means whenever you want to travel, you are such a free person. There are other folks, no, I can't travel like that. I have a bunch of stuff. I have to find a moving truck. There are wealth of like stuff in my house. How I'm going to leave my house, right? At least I have to have a CCTV camera to watch what is happening to my house. I can monitor it from the outside. So attached to the house. So much into it, right? The technology has to be used in a proper way, but it has negatively impacted you, right? So the Buddha said to the monastic and to other people, be free as a bird, because the bird carries only the weight of their wings, right? That's an interesting thing. Whenever you want to have this freedom, liberation, you should be able to enjoy. There are folks who can't think their way. They are always troubled with what they have. Okay, then Santindriyo is pretty easy to understand. What is Santindriyo? Indriyo means our faculties. How many faculties do we have? Faculty of Commerce, Faculty of Management, Faculty of Arts. Is that a university type of faculties? These are not those faculties. Indriya. Six faculties. Why do you have called Indriya? Indriya. What's the terming of Indriya? Indra is a god. Indra is a god. Sakka, another term for the Sakka, the head god of the tower inside. It is said that Indra is the master in all the heavens. So it is said that our individual sense faculty, we call them sense faculties, are called as Indriyas. That's how the word Indriya is made up. So we have 6 sense faculties. What are they? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. Now, in order your sense faculties to be, to make them a skillful habit, you should be able to make them calm. Santani indriyani asati santindriya. You should be able to have calmed sense faculties. Are our sense faculties calm always? Or are they pretty, challenging to all of us? It depends on the way how we respond to external events. We have piece of eyes, then we see images, people, other things. We have ears, so sounds come to our ears externally. Unfortunately, what is clear is that external objects going to be more powerful than our internal sense faculties. Is it a good sign in our management of our sense faculties? External objects are going to take over our internal sense faculty. How should we see this phenomenon? Should we empower or strengthen our internal sense faculties so that the external objects going to be supervised, monitored really good, and you know what to take, what to see, what to eat, what to taste, all that. Or we just let our internal sense faculties be taken over by the external object, which should be happening to us. What is supposed to happen according to this skillful habit and in the Buddhist idea is that we have to strengthen, empower our internal sense faculties so that you know what to see, what to hear, what to smell, what to taste, what to touch, what to think. Do we think what we want to think, or do we think what is affecting us from outside? It's an interesting question, right? Do we think what we want to think, or do we think what is troubling us? Now take that example of somebody thinking and then taking a shower in the bathroom. What is happening? He wants to take a shower, she won't, but thoughts are trying to take that person out. Right? That means external objects are playing on us, right? That's a weakness in us. So we should be able to think what we want. So a strong person, dharma friendly, dharmically strong person is always trying to aim at that. So Santindriyo means your sense faculties are very calm. You can't calm them without making them empowered, without making them strong. Right? That strengthening, that empowerment has to be done consciously. Don't make it like, I don't like you. I don't want. There are people, right? This happens to somebody at the time of the Buddha. Somebody came to see the Buddha. This is mentioned in the Indriya Bhavana Sutta. Let me find out the number. You can see. Indriya Bhavana Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. That's going to be Majjhima Nikaya 152, the last sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. Let me type that for you. Indriya Bhavana Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 152. In this sutta, there is a very interesting discussion about how to take care of our sense faculties. One man approached the Buddha and then said to the Buddha, Bhante, I was thinking this way. There are people I don't like. I really don't like them. I hate them. So I thought from tomorrow or something, I am going to close my eyes every time they come to my face. Okay. So will I be able to attain Nibbana this way? Then the Buddha said, the blind people will attain Nibbana faster than. Interesting, right? Because they are not able to see anything, but they still have raga dosa moha, lobha dosa moha. Being blind, like closing eyes will not make a big impact, but still there is a certain impact because you don't see a lot, but they have their own way of gathering information, like the prayer system and all that. And somebody else approached the Buddha, said to Buddha, Bhante, I know that I have a lot of people, I don't want to hear what they talk about. So they are very unpleasant to me. They are talking things that I don't like. So I'm trying to, close my ears. Some people do that, right? I'm going to close my ears and then spend that time when I'm with them. That's it. The deaf people will attain Nibbana faster than the deaf people. Is it deaf people? Those who can hear, are they deaf? They should be deaf, right? The idea here is face the challenge. Don't walk away. If you think there is somebody you don't like, talk to that person. Don't walk away. Because if you walk away, it will become worse. I'm actually trying to think about some of the dieters, those who diet. Now they have found from research, those who diet a lot, eat a lot. More than the people who just don't become dieters, right? Because They don't eat for a couple of days, then they compensate for the rest of the day. They did not eat actually. They eat a lot. That means don't do this, but try to manage your portion. As the Buddha said, eat less. Don't try to completely walk away from eating. Eat less, then you will find your happiness. So the idea here is to calming our sense faculties is that face our challenges, don't become unpleasant, don't become so inimical, I would say dislike or like by any of these things. Just face it, just understand what's going on. Don't try to practice extreme likes or extreme dislikes. That is what you call by Santindriyo. So then when you have your sense faculties very calm, you become a very nice person. Because the way you use your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. But be careful, there are bad guys who show things like that on the surface way. They might show you that they are very calm, but they are not very calm. Things like that happen too. So don't believe other people in what you see from outside. But the idea is we need to calm our inner sense faculties. Okay, that is something real. Then Nipako. What is Nipako? Nipako means discreet. Now, here's the translation. But I would probably give to you the idea here for Nipako is that Nipako means clever. The idea is clever. You are clever. You are probably wise. Here, let me send that to you. The commentary, it says, you are become a Vinyu Vibhavi Panyama. This is the idea for Nipako. You can take any of these wordings. Okay, Nipakoti. Vinyu. Vinyu means you are becoming a clever person, wise person. Right? So you should have wisdom. Right? That means every time, whenever you use your clothing, your shelter, medications, you have to be clever. You have to be wise about your consumption, right? That is what we call by Nipako. But the English term discreet has a different idea too. As you can see, you are careful actually. You are careful in your speech, actions, and your thoughts. Have you seen people who talk very straight, don't care what other person is going to experience? This came to my mind. I just talk. I have no hanky-panky, right? They might say like that. It is good in a certain way, but sometimes, maybe always, it can hurt other people. Because people are different, right? So we have to respect people. So if you are somebody who are careful about other people's feelings, that means you have Nipako. Nipako means you are careful about other people's feelings. Those folks who are always apologetic, I'm so sorry about what happened. So they are careful. They are very concerned about how other people take. But there could be other folks who might not be. So Nipako is a skill. Is it a skill? Have you ever seen that like many people in your circles, they are very careful in their actions, thoughts, and speeches, or they just talk? So we have a mix of these people, right? It's always good to be careful before you talk, before you respond to somebody, because we don't know how they're gonna take those responses, right? So Nipako is being careful in your actions, speeches, and thoughts. Nipako, and then we have another two. Appagapu kulesu an. Appagapu is one. Kulesu anuvetto is the last one here. What is appagapu? Appagapu. Any thoughts? Pagapu. So pagapu is that you are, in a way, you are very judgmental. It's a good way of putting, like the English meaning here is given as impudent. Huh? See, it is given as modest or I would say modest. That means that you are unassuming about others, right? You are not judgmental. Is being judgmental or non-judgmental a very big trait, like a habit in our life? It is a big trait. It's a big habit. The reason is that this is where we want mindfulness. We are always supposed to be non-judgmental. That is where we understand vipassana meditation and all that. Vipassana means insight. Insight comes from not being non-judgmental. Right? So if you are somebody who is not judgmental, who is objective, I would say, who is objectively thinking, not subjectively thinking a lot, that means you have not pagabbo, but appagabbo. Pagabbo means you are assuming or you are judgmental. Appagabbo means you are unassuming or non-judgmental. Is it a blessing to be with somebody who is non-judgmental? I think it is a blessing. We can easily work with those people. They are not judging us, right? Right? They are not judging. Everybody judges us, right? Even animals judge us, right? Cats, dogs, they judge us. Huh? This guy gave me food yesterday. See, look at it. Is he giving food me today or not? I mean, they all judge us, right? But for the humans, we have this way. The less judgmental you are, that means the more successful in your insightful practice. Yeah, Dihan, what you're trying to say?
Yeah, Bhante, this appagabbo, then what is the opposite that one? Can you type?
Okay, pagabbo. Yeah, I'll type it for you. Okay, so the opposite, I would say, the weak quality is pagabbo. The skillful habit is appagabbo. I will write like this. Appagabbo is non-judgmental. Then pagabbo is judgmental. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense? Should be, right? Appagabbo. That means not pagabbo. Then kulesu ananugittu. Kulesu ananugittu means not greedily attached. Now this is particularly for monks and nuns, and it is not even to them. That means you are not attached to somebody who is offering things. This can happen to some. That means in the form of, let's say, a monastery is getting a lot of comforts, goods, tools, stuff from a certain devotee. So if the monastery is going to praise only that particular person, just to talk about that particular person, then you are greedily attached to that particular family. The Buddha says it's not a good thing because you are creating craving from them. If you take it to your life as a layperson, you should not attach greedily to anybody, right? Let's say you might be married, you might be single, you might be having a common law life, but whatever you do, wherever you are involved, try not to develop greed. You may go with your likes and dislikes, it's okay. Your attachments are maybe okay, the way you think, but greed is a problem. If you develop your likes, attachments to a greed, it's going to be a big problem. That is why we say giddo. You find the giddo again in this sutta. Where is it? The last stanza in this sutta, you can see verse number 10. You can see kamesu vinaya gedhang. So this excessive greed, we should give up excessive greed. Because let's say you have an excessive greed that is a very dangerous mental state for you to leave this world happily one day. You might say, no, I am the one who helped this person. I am the one who liked and took care of this person. So I have a right to be greedy about this particular person. But that is not a solution. That is not the way to think about, because I'm talking about the next life too, because you are creating greed for that. You did it, that's a very good thing, but don't take it as a greed. So that's the ideas to think about. So kulesu ananagiddu means you are not attached to anybody, anything greedily. You may be attached without greed. That should be okay because you are lay people. So you have your own standards to go, but don't attach greedily. It's for the lay folks. So it's otherwise not going to be a scale. Okay, so we have done today's stanza where we learned 8 skillful habits. Too many habits. Normally we have 4, 5, 6, but we have 8. That means we have done almost 40. Next week we're going to be finishing the skillful habits. One last habit to be discussed. So any questions about these 8 skillful habits? Probably the last 6 habits that you have. Yeah. Dehan.
Bhante, then these habits actually then I want to know that means all these habits we shouldn't get to the 0 level. That means the too much is the worst. Then other than there should be these things, right? Am I correct?
I think moderation is required to any good thing too. Now, moderation is the problem to many because they are not maintaining even the good things in moderation. Suppose there is someone who thinks that I need to meditate for 16 hours just by being confused with some of the suttas. This might not be a good idea because the suttas were given to some monks who are going to attain Nibbana, not to you. Right? These, if you look at the bunch of suttas, they were given to people who are going to attain Nibbana right away, probably in a month or time, not to you. So if you want to learn what works for you, you have to approach a monk or somebody who is knowledgeable, and then that person will assess your knowledge, assess your life, and then ask you to read. These are the suttas you should read. These are good for you to become a Sotapanna, right? So in that way, every good thing, even reading suttas, you should need moderation. So moderation means not too less, not too much. So these are the 2 wrong ends. Attakilamatana yoga and Kamasupallikana yoga are the 2 ends actually. So we have to find the balance between those 2. Actually, we are forming habits since our birth. Is it correct? Because we are forming habits. Most of the habits we are forming are working on autopilot. There are people who gossip, but they don't know I'm gossiping. We are gossiping. Are we gossiping? Yeah, that is gossiping. They don't know that it is gossiping. Not even gossiping. Let's say when there is somebody who talks to other people, they might hurt other people feeling, but nobody told them that this is bad, right? That means it has been building up for over many decades. Probably they're from their childhood, probably from their household, their environment where they were raised, probably from their parents, probably from somewhere else. That is why we had to find out, these are the Buddhist-friendly, skillful habits we need to develop. When you develop, you need to program yourself. You have to reset your programming, right? That means you have to unlearn what you already have, then learn these skillful habits and then to develop. Because they are skillful habits.
Bhante, is it worry or concern about the safety of the family members, especially our child, consider the Kulesu Ananugido.
Aliana, I'm sorry, I didn't hear very properly. Let me.
Sorry, Bhante. I would like to ask about Kulesu Ananugido.
Okay.
Is it a worry or concern, frequently concerned about the family member, especially our child or whoever? Is it considered Kulesu Ananugido as well, Bhante?
Okay. It primarily is about somebody who is being supported by somebody else. And because of that support, that person thinks I have to be attached greedily to that particular person, right? Let's say now that's in somebody's case, I would say I have mother and father. I have to take care of them. A good example, right? So, mother and father also part of these sansaric beings, right? They are also part of the sansara. So, you are not greedily attached to them, but you have your duties and responsibilities as children to fulfill for them, right? So you're going to provide your help towards their life, like as time goes by, right? So that's the now in that example, as you mentioned about the children, yes, I mean when you raising your children, automatically, naturally, there will be a liking, like an excessive liking towards them. Right? But in my understanding, I'm not trying to say it's something really harmful. I'm trying to say that the first thing is you have to make sure that you are taking care of them very well, but not you should not attach greedily towards their lives, because we are all sansaric beings, right? Because there are sometimes parents who are doing everything, then expecting a lot of things from their children in return. Okay, I did like this, I didn't work very well, I was doing everything for you. This happens to many immigrant families back in many Western countries. Like some people, when they immigrated to Western country, they say, you know what, we immigrated because of you, looking at your studies, and they are thoroughly pressurized about it, right? So we should not attach to anybody, even to our children, your children, greedily. You will be attached. That is a natural thing. You are not doing that. It is natural because you are taking care of them. They come from you, but don't attach greedily. That is one aspect. Another aspect is the parents and children, that connection. Yeah. So you can then think about other connections that you have in your life. Everybody has. Greed is the problem.
Very much, Bhante.
Okay, any other questions about today's skillful habits? Let me ask you, what are the signs of somebody who is attached to someone greedily? What are the signs? Let's talk about the signs. Manipulation. You have to do like this, you have to be like this. Otherwise, this will happen. Manipulation, dominating their lives. If you really love someone, why are you going to manipulate those folks? Right? They will understand, okay, I should not do that. That's really bad. I should not do it. But some folks think that, no, I have to manipulate, otherwise this person will go away from me, right? So that is one of the ways of symptoms that you can know that, yeah, I have the greed with this attachment, right? Yeah, others? this stanza or the previous stanza or Metta Sutta in general? When we finish,
මන්ට මං හිතන්නේ මිස්ටර් ධර්මසේන මොන හරි ඇහුවා වගේ දැක්කා මම මේ ඉස්සර මියුට් එක අපිට ඇහුන්නේ
No, I didn't answer anything.
නැහැ. Okay.
okay. Yeah, we'll take one more minute, otherwise we're gonna transfer the good karmas then.
Okay, now I will ask this question. The last word which you said, don't be too greedily attached.
Not don't be too greedy. I said don't be greedy.
Yeah, in a way, okay. I said it in a way, don't be too greedily attached. Meaning something like we're too attached to the daughter or son that we have. In a way, we are too attached, and if we lose them, it will hurt us very, very badly. Because the attachment is too strong. But we must understand the reality that nothing lasts forever. Even though we love it, have to go. We have to go. Something like that, is it?
Yeah, correct. I would rephrase the way how you said that. Not don't be too greedy. I would say don't be greedy. Because greed is greed. When the greed arises in us, it is greed. So, and the rest of the things you said, yeah, because when you are greedy, even towards your relationships, in house, right? Then they will give you a really hard time, not even to you, but also to them, right? As you said, this one of the very important theories from Buddhism, anicca, the changes. We are not accepting the changes sometimes, right? So we should be able to have a mind to see the changes, not even the good changes only, but also all the changes, favorable, unfavorable changes. So that's the idea. So, yeah, so greed, it's a problem. So
sorry, sir. I would just want to say when I feel like the whole verse, and when it ends up with not greedily attached to family, I just feel like when you try to initiate us to think about it scientifically, it just reminds me as like a psychologist that it actually a very good verse, and I very like it, but I just try to think about it holistically. I mean, when you said that people who are unhealthily attached to family, they try to manipulate their people in the family, pretty much it's just in the psychology, it's just a sense of insecurity. So it's just holistically connected with a person should be content in term of, and what I would just want to say is that it actually generation to generation, you could be, if you're not, for me, I'm very lucky to have a nice parents who not attached to me and let me be who I am. And I can feel how healthy it's passed on from their open-mindedness to me, and I can feel the healthiness in the family, and how to learn to be content.
Living example.
If I could say that, right? Right. So I really like the words, and I really like.
Yeah.
I can see it holistically how it actually good for well-being as a whole. Right?
So Pungi, are you doing a PhD on the psychology of music, right?
Yes, and also about mental health care support as well.
Yeah. So she's doing a PhD about psychology of music in Scotland. You're living in Edinburgh, right? At this moment?
I'm living in Glasgow at the
Glasgow.
moment, but not Glasgow University.
Oh, Glasgow University. So yeah, so I was just trying to say about the symptoms of why people, we just talk like it is not good to be attached greedily, but why it is happening. It happens because there is a huge amount of insecurity. Why insecurity arises in us, right? Insecurity is a good topic to talk about, right? I think people try to manage insecurity by being attached to people greedily. And as you said that, the other idea here, other aspect here is that there are people who think if they do not attach to someone greedily, there will be no control of such people again. But actually, if you don't manipulate them, they will look at you healthily. They will, look at you holistically if you don't dominate them, because manipulation is not needed. Right? They try to control you because they think they are very insecure if they don't do such. So I would say not manipulating, domineering have living examples in us. Can we have attachment to our family, not greed? Yes, that's what we said. You can be attached, but without greed, but you should know the amount of attachment that you have towards your family members, right? Don't have favorites, huh? Okay. So do your responsibilities, your duties to your spouse and your family members well. That will be the best attachment, right? Yeah, Diha?
Yeah, then for example, then now we are trying to study, right? Then there are some, according to Buddha's teaching, then for some subjects, we shouldn't think that we should stop, then we have to continue. Is it directly related to this? I don't remember what are those subjects. I remember one is education.
Yeah. Can you give us a hint about what are those, at least a little bit of what they are?
Yeah, actually now, for example, then everything anicca, right? So
Yes.
then tomorrow I am dying, so I don't want to learn, right? Or then I am lazy, right? Like that.
Okay, that's a good way of looking at it. Now, actually, there are some of the, I'm not trying to name, this happens not from the books primarily. It happens mostly from some of the talks, some of the living talks, where some speakers might say everything, because everything is impermanent, has to be seen from a very wise perspective. Let's say, even this moment is going to change, right? So we're going to be done soon after this. So this is going to finish. That is anicca too, right? But simply because it is anicca, Buddha never said that we should not take care of us, take care of our life, right? So I think while we are telling everyone to understand the concept of anicca, impermanence, we also have to tell them you got this beautiful human life, so you need to take care of it. Because if you don't take care of it, as we said about health is the best, gain, you won't be able to understand your mental health, right? So just, promoting anicca is the main concept, sometimes can, give a very different impression. But I think anicca concept has to be explained in proper way. I think it is explained in a wrong way in many places. Yeah. I remember a story, when a Westerner came to Sri Lanka. This guy is actually, he's drawing, some of the images. He was a friend of somebody else that I know. So the two people met here in Sri Lanka at a certain time. So he wanted to bring the Western guy, the gentleman, to the temple that he knows. And he said to the monk over there, Bhante, he's one of my friends. So he's spending his winter time in Sri Lanka because he's going to one of the countries there in Europe to sell all these drawings. So can you teach him some of the Dhammas, right? So the monk started, the Bhante started saying everything is anicca, everything is dukkha, everything is anatta. As you said, everything is impermanent, everything is dukkha, everything is anatta. And then after hearing this, you know what he said? He said, yeah, I think everything is changing even now. If somebody cannot see the changes, that person is suffering. It's pretty interesting the way he says. If somebody cannot see the changes happening even now, that person is actually why we are suffering. Because we don't see the changes happening. We take only one phenomenon, one event. That is why we are suffering. So, if things are changing, if such things are not observed properly, then there is definitely the problem of losing oneself to those possessions. See how people take. So that means the concept of anicca, dukkha, anatta. So these three aspects of the concept have to be used to understand the bigger perspective. That is why I said even the anicca concept is only taught separately. That is why there are misunderstandings that can be with many. Yeah, so any more questions for today? So I think we will be having kind of an introduction about the metta, loving kindness next week after we discuss the 15th one. I'm going to go back again for the 15 skillful habits a little bit. And then we're going to be starting how to do the metta practice according to the Metta Sutta. So we'll take one more minute if there are any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to transfer the good cards. Okay, looks like there are no questions at this point. So we will go to transfer the good karmas with the people and the deities. May all the good karmas that we've been accumulating to this point of time be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. If the departed relatives passed away, were reborn in a painful realm, may they be able to switch to a better life by using all these good karmas. If they are already in a better realm, may they be able to use all these good karmas, listen to more Dhamma, and then attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. We recite the stanzas together. Idang me nyati nang sukita huntu nyati. Idang me nyati nang sukita huntu nyati. Idang me nyati nang sukita huntu nyati. Also, let's share all the good karmas with the devas, nagas, and all the mahitikas. May all the devas, nagas, mahitikas share all these good karmas and bless and protect all of you. Not only all of you, but also your family, friends, your parents, everybody in your life. And not even all of you, but also every being in this universe. The Buddhism talks about the universal philosophy. Even the practice of metta has to be done to every being in this universe. May all the beings be protected for good health, quality of life, safety, and prosperity. Finally, may all the devas, nagas, and mahitikas also be well and happy may they also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu.
Sadhu. Sadhu.
Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anudantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anudantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti sindhya. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu lokasasana. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desana. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahittika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu paranti chirang rakhantu tang sada. Finally, let's also make a wish. We are supposed to make that wish. May we be able to be with the Kalyana Mittas till we attain Nibbana, not with the Papa Mittas. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagam satan samagam yavanibbana. Finally, may all the good karmas we've been accumulating in all these ways be helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
I bless you with a couple more stanzas. Please receive the blessings. Abhivadana silis nichang badha pachayino chattaro dhamma vadhanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sankha sampatti nivacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. By the power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may all your fears go away, may all your sufferings go away. May all your sicknesses go away, may all you be safe, comfortable, and happy at all times. Sadhu, sadhu. I wish you a good night and then see you next Friday, same time.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Good night, everyone. Good night, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
You.
Sadhu. Thank you, Bhante. Good night, brother, sister.
Good night, sister.
Yeah, good night.
Good night. Good night,
Thank you,
everyone.
Bhante.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up this way. Otherwise, we had to be like this for the whole night. Okay, good night.